Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon, and of course we have another Tuesday. These Tuesdays seem to fly by, and of course we're down here at the Peppermill and we're on the red couch, and I have actually a celebrity with me. I know he's very young. He's, I don't know how old he is. I think he's 16, 18? How?
18.
You're 18. Oh, a fly.
Yeah, a fly was on.
We have a third party. A fly. I know his father very well, and I know his father's wife very well. I never obviously met your mother, but you're Daniel Hart. Daniel Hart, very well-known family in Las Vegas.
Correct.
So you kind of grew up in a celebrity style,
Right.
but it was in the religious arena, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
How was it?
It was very interesting. Going up my own way, like, because they owned a mansion. I know before I was even
Hartland
born.
Mansion, that's
Hartland
was their home.
Yeah. Before I was even born, they were touring around the world doing Christian gospel music
Yes.
and having tent revivals. So it was very, very interesting. I didn't experience a lot of that traveling around the world, but I kind of felt the aftermath.
But did you want to travel around?
Oh, I definitely did.
You definitely wanted to, but they wouldn't take it because you had to go to school and you were actually,
Right, but a lot of that stuff happened before I was born.
Before you were born.
Yeah.
But it's a great thing to kind of look back on and see. Now, you actually lived in the mansion for quite a long time, right?
Yeah, most of my life.
Most of your life, which is only 18 years. Tally ho. So, growing up in a kind of a religious family, where are you with it now? Do you practice religion, or are you involved in it, or do you like it?
Yeah, I've been practicing Roman Catholic all my life.
You're Roman Catholic?
Yeah.
How about, now my father and my grandmother was definitely a Roman Catholic, and you don't have many Roman Catholics actually, especially in Vegas, no. Yeah. But in England we have a lot of them. Yeah, my grandmother was a Roman Catholic. See, we've got something in common already. So now I saw a photograph of you, and I have seen you playing various instruments, and one of them is the violin.
Correct.
Why did you take the violin up?
To be completely honest, I was originally in the 6th grade, I believe. I was enrolled in an art class. And my dad's like, no, you have to learn another instrument. And so I was like, no, Dad, I don't want to do that. But then he enrolled me into the orchestra class, and I just picked violin because, it felt right for me.
It felt right that you could do it. So when you were after sort of learning it, did you kind of fall into it and like it?
I did. I do thank my dad for switching me out because I was terrible at art. So
at least he admits it.
Yeah, exactly. I like to have that violin as another skill set.
As one of your skill sets. Now, do you obviously play the violin? What else do you play?
The guitar and drums.
See, it fascinates me because when somebody plays one instrument, it seems that it follows through with lots of instruments. Do you use the same technique? I mean, the violin's so different. We all know what a violin is. By the way, a violin is very different this day and age than it was years ago. Years ago, it was very classical, very sort of, orchestrated. Now it's played in the hard rock and it's played everywhere.
Right.
Right? So when you were playing the violin and you got into the other music, did you like that? I mean, obviously, you have a talent for it.
Right. Well, it's all kind of like that rhythm bass. Once you have that music in you, I feel like you're kind of like more passionate with it. I don't know. It's kind of weird to explain, but
yeah, I think you kind of pick up the 1, 2, 3s. That's all I know about music. It's like, as you said, it's the beat. Right. You pick that beat up, and you can apply that to sort of. Do you play the piano?
I do not. My grandma was trying to get me to learn the piano. She's going to teach me to. But I was so immature and young at the time that I couldn't pay attention.
Now I met your mother, fabulous woman, his mother, very well known in town. And of course we're going to have your father on. After I interview Daniel, we're going to have your father on. Now, what have you where do you want to go now? You're going to college, apparently you're...
Coast Guard, military first. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Did you choose that, or did somebody else in the family choose it?
No, I did. I thought that choosing the military route first would be better expense-wise. It just really expand my horizons all around as an individual. Because I feel like the discipline's really, really mandatory. At the same time, there's a lot of benefits when you join the military.
But do you think, when you go to the military, you're kind of being straightened out?
Definitely. That's the main
I don't like to ask this question. Do you want to be straightened out?
I do.
You do? Why, what do you feel that you're not straightened out on as an 18-year-old? I don't know why they have to be straightened out, but anyway, what do you want?
I feel like I could really use, me as an individual, I could use more self-discipline.
Self-discipline.
Right. Yeah, same could be said for most of us, really. But yeah, for me.
Me being one of them.
Special. Yeah.
Me being one of them. So you actually like this discipline attitude of life. Do you think it will sort of make you a better person as to where you're going?
Definitely.
And where are you going? What have you got in your mind as what you want to do and what you, and whether you want to be in the music?
Definitely after military, and I have those benefits, and I've raised enough money in my savings.
Yeah.
I will then pursue a career in college. Ideally, something with like business and marketing.
Business and marketing, you want to go out there. Do you want to be a millionaire?
Definitely.
You know, why not ask the question? I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and why not? But the only thing I can say about that is you have to. What the first thing you're doing is going to the military is really cool. So you're obviously only going in for what, 3 years? What is it?
4 years active and then 4 years reserve. So
8 years of discipline. Do you think you need 8 years of discipline?
definitely, I need my whole life.
I need your whole life discipline. So, and then after that, you said you're going to do college. So you're going to be 26 coming out,
Right.
and then you're going to go into college, into business. But can you also not learn that in the military? Can't you also go through courses in learning business and what you want to do?
Definitely. Well, the Coast Guard's very unique because you can like have like certain skill sets that you wouldn't have in other branches.
Really?
Yeah. So like electrician, plumbing, that's like trade jobs are more applicable. But the 4 years of reserve, it's really only like about maybe 3 weeks of the whole year that I'm actually in that
active duty.
in that environment.
Active duty.
Yeah.
Now, what happens if you are, you have to go somewhere, Afghanistan, or, would do you mind all that, or would you be doing that?
I was actually, well, it's more Marines, Army, which I was deeply considering.
Yeah.
But the Coast Guard's, the only time that they're in active, like in like wartime involvement, is when the Navy needs more seamen.
People like you.
Right.
So actually, you'll be where are you going to be based?
It just depends. It all depends. I have the cool thing about Coast Guard is what I do and where I can be stationed is pretty like I have a say in it.
You have a say in it. That's cool. I didn't know. This all sounds really cool.
It's not that big of a say.
Now, your father is American and your mother. I happen to ask him about his mother because your mother is, and I happen to say Asian. The reason I said Asian because I don't know what part of Asia she's from, but I found out that she had a DNA test apparently, and she's from everywhere.
Right.
So, obviously your mother's still around. Does she live here?
Oh, she lives in Spokane, Washington now.
She lives in Washington.
That's where I was living, and I'm visiting my dad right now.
So you visit your dad in the summertime, and then you go back and you kind of, so you share two lives.
Yeah, right.
How cool is that? Is it cool?
It has its ups and its downs. My whole life, for all I've known, my father and my mother have never really been together.
No.
Just like ever since I was born. So I just always had like those split homes.
You always have that split home thing.
Yeah. At first, you're kind of like really wanting to have.
Where do I belong?
Exactly.
Where do I belong? Who do I belong with? Why? And I think a lot of parents sometimes don't understand that. I had a show for 16 years called Voices of Tomorrow, and I went through a lot of children, well, teenagers, they won't be children at 16, and a lot of them, they had that mixed feeling about, the mum and the dad, and sometimes I don't think the mother and father think about it as much as they should, as of the children's feelings. I think sometimes, but I know your dad absolutely adores you. He loves you to be in town as much as possible.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets very excited when you're here, so you bring a light. So I guess you have the best of two worlds. But
that's exactly what I was going to say, yeah. You learn to get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And you've learned that way. So do you have any resentment?
A lot of the time when you're first experiencing a lot of things, like when you're really young and your perspective on the world is so small,
yes.
You think like, why does my dad really want me to go, like for example, like go to orchestra, like, I just want to do art,
Yes.
But it's that discipline, it's that authority figure that says, I know what's best for you.
And he's trying to give you the best he can.
Exactly.
So you're very grateful for that now.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Very grateful.
And are you grateful that you've actually listened to him and also your mother?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did your mother have a big say in a lot of stuff she wanted you to to do?
Oh yeah, they both did.
They both
My
did.
parents, yeah.
So you both love both of them, isn't that cool?
yeah.
You know, the best of both worlds.
That's right.
But the greatest thing about Daniel has learned to live with all that. You've learned to understand it, and you're not the only person in the world living with a mother here and a father there. So you know, so it's pretty cool. So if you had anything to say to the younger generation of your situation, what would you like to say?
Really just grow and try to learn the most that you can with each given experience, because really experience is what defines us, forms us as individuals. Yeah.
At such a young age, you understand that. That's cool, isn't it? I think we underestimate sometimes our children. As I said, I had a show, and I never underestimate the younger generation. I have their back, every one of them, because I think in this day and age, the younger generation have so much going for them, and with the internet and with everything happening, it's just amazing. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to reach you, do you have a website, or do you have a page, or do you have anything where anybody would like to sort of be in contact with you? Facebook, maybe?
I have a social media.
All right, what's your social media?
But I don't have a website or anything like that.
No, well, neither do I. So it makes two of us.
Cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So where can they meet you? Are you on Facebook?
Instagram.
Instagram. So they can meet you at Daniel Hart.
It's just Hart, my last name, Hert 6693. So
that's it.
That's
If you want to ask him questions about his life and how he's doing and where he's going, and also about your new adventure. When did you start? When did you join, by the way? When did you leave for this adventure?
For Call of the Adventure, I call it September 10th.
September 10th. So you just haven't got much time left. You've got 3 weeks.
Yeah,
3 weeks of freedom. Thank you so
Enjoy
much.
while it lasts.
I'm in my element when I interview the younger generation. I'm totally in my element because I love to hear what they have to say, because they are our future leaders. He is going to be one of our leaders of the world, whatever direction he goes into and whatever he's going to do. You are going to be one of our leaders, regardless of what anybody says out there. Because the younger generation are getting a bit of a bad rap, aren't they? A lot of people say
deservingly at times. Yeah, kind of willfully ignorant at times, I'd say.
Yeah, but they're young. They don't know.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna eventually, it's gonna be passed down to us, the torch.
Yeah, the torch gets passed down. It's like the Olympics. We're all running in the Olympics, and the torch gets passed down. Thank you for watching Vegas Live with Ninon, and thank you for listening to Daniel. He's a wonderful gentleman, and he's got a life ahead of him. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much for having me.